Hi, Chris.
Hey,
Hey.
how
Thank
are
you.
you?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm so happy to be here with you today again. Thank you for doing
Oh,
that for me one more time. It's a pleasure. I loved our last conversation. Thank you.
oh, well, it's super fun for me too.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so today I would like to talk to you about a movie called, oh my God, Central Station? How is the name of the movie in English? Central do Brasil. Brazil Central Station?
Probably, I think so.
Okay. Oh my God, I should know that.
Hey,
Okay.
I'll look it up really quick.
Thank you. Oh my
Central
God. Let me
do
check.
Brasil. Let's see. In English, Central Station.
Central Station. Okay, so
Perfect.
we are thank you, Chris. Thank you so much. So we are here today to talk about Central Station, and it is a movie. It is a Brazilian movie that was released in 1998.
1998.
1998. Thank you. And it is a movie that means a lot to me, and the fact that we have already discussed that movie in our group movie class, it's amazing that you have seen it. So I couldn't think of a better person to discuss this movie with. So thank you for doing this again.
Of course. I really liked the movie. It'll be interesting to discuss it in English this time.
Wow, yes, yeah. So yeah, it is actually my well, it is my favorite Brazilian movie, I think, with Lisbela and the Prisoner. Do you remember this movie? So,
Yes, that one was really funny.
yeah, so I sort of memorized all the lines for Lisbela and the Prisoner, but Central Station is more profound. So I think I would say that it is my favorite Brazilian movie. Yeah. Yeah, so it is a movie about this unlikely friendship between an orphan and a very cynical woman who learn how to help each other. So this there is this woman called Dora who, as you know, who is a former school teacher, and she earns a living by writing letters in a very busy railroad station in Rio.
Railway station.
Railway station.
Or you can just say train station.
Train station
Train
is, yeah.
station.
Yeah. So she earns a living by writing letters for illiterate people in this train station in Rio. And one day she met Josué's mother, this 9-year-old kid. So his mother wants to send a letter for his father who lives in a town. Yeah,
Send a letter to his father.
to his father. Thank you. She wants to send a letter to his father who lives in a faraway town in the northeast of Brazil. And so Dora, she consider her clients to be trash, and most of times she doesn't send their letters. So she keep their letters. She go to her house and she talks with her friend Irene if if she would send or not some letters, and sometimes the letters will be in purgatory waiting to be sent, but most of times she won't send the letters.
Most of the time.
Most of the time she won't send the letters. Thank you, Chris. So Josué's mother, she happens to be struck and killed by a bus, and Josué, with no place to go, he decided to stay in the station and sleeps. And he starts sleeping in the train station. And Dora, reluctantly, she takes him with her to her apartment. And when they arrive there, he discovered that the letter that she was supposed to send to his father was never sent. Dora decides to sell the boy, to, 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 to some people who are supposed to be in the adoption business, or so she thinks. But then when she sells him and she goes back, or she calls a friend. I don't quite remember that part.
Yeah,
She
I think
she
she called the
calls.
friend or talked to the friend, and she
Yeah, she
started to like kind of realize, maybe this isn't what I thought it was.
yeah, her friend tells her like, I'm this boy is in danger of being killed, and for his organs
Hmm.
parts. And then she decided to rescue him, and they go in a journey to find his father, who is in the city in the northeast. So a lot of things happened during that journey. In the beginning, Dora had a very, how can I say, she was very cynical, and she, can I say she has like this, how can I say that she didn't have a heart?
She was a bit heartless.
Heartless, yes. She was a bit heartless, and she actually attempts to abandon him during the trip, and a lot of things happen during the trip, but they ended up connecting. So they ended up like changing and impacting each other's lives. So yeah, so it is a movie that touches upon a lot of very interesting subjects, such as abandonment, friendship, um, religion, religion,
Religion?
religion, also, and what else? Um, yeah, family, and how people can change, and
Like self discovery a little bit too, right?
exactly, self-discovery. Yes, yes. So it is a movie that, how can I say, brings me to tears, makes me
Yeah,
cry.
it makes you really feel something.
Yeah, every time, and I've seen it like since it was first released in 1998. But I was a child back then. I was like 9 or 8, but I remember watching it, and then uh, hundreds of times after. So it is a movie that for me never gets old. It's
Yeah.
always very,
I find it really interesting. Like, I'll rewatch a movie that I really liked 8, 10, even 15 years ago. And because I was at a different stage in my life and younger, less mature, and everything, less life experience, I liked the movie a lot. But then when I watch it again later on, I start to realize like different themes of the movie or different understanding situations differently. Do you feel like watching like when you watch it like when you've watched it again,
yeah,
do you feel different things or do you like realize different things?
yeah. That is very interesting. This that you have said. I think. Well, I think art in general communicates with us in different ways every time,
True.
and it. I mean, of course, that, how can I say, the the passage of time,
Hmm.
uh, this like 10 years that apart from the first time that we've seen or watched or heard something, um, and then years later, I think it plays like the experience, as you said, how it changed. We will see that differently, because I also think that we are a different person. Have you read Alice in Wonderland?
I haven't read it. No, I should.
Really? Yeah, there is a, how can I say, a quotation in this book,
A quote?
quote, that says that she I'm not sure if it's Alice or another character in the book, but the quote says that among in a space of 24 hours, this character has changed so many times, that he was not the person that like first woke up in the morning. And I think that that's the thing as well, like the time passes and we become different people, and that's not a
Hmm.
bad thing, but we are different every day. So when
Yeah.
we watch something, it is with the eyes of who we are today, Like we are different person.
Right. We see it from a different perspective.
Exactly. Yes. 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 As you said, I'm just repeating what you just said.
Yeah, no, no, you're putting it into much better words. You're explaining it in a much more educated way.
Oh my God. Oh, I could never. I could never. Yeah. So for me, I love revisiting, and with places as well, right? So when you travel to a place and then you return some years later, it is a different place. It is the same, but it isn't the same because you're not the same, and the place is. It's not. I don't know. It's not the same as well. So you get a different. How can I say a
Yeah.
different vibe?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like that kind of makes me sad, to be honest.
Really? Why?
When I go back to a place that, because I've moved a lot, right?
Yeah.
So when I go back to like a place that I lived in 20 years ago, I don't know, like I feel like, I don't know, it makes me feel kind of sad, like, oh, like I'm not like young with like this easy life anymore. Like now I have
Yeah.
responsibilities. I don't know. It's like good and bad at the same time. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Would you say that it is a bit nostalgic?
Very, very,
Yeah.
very. And I think nostalgia kind of brings out that a little bit of a sad feeling sometimes.
Mhm. Yes, yes. It is interesting to see that time is passing and things are changing. And I think that places remind us that we are getting old. And I mean, sometimes we are so caught up in this, I don't know, transactional life where we have to wake up and go to work and deal with like daily things that
The routine,
the
stuck in the
routine.
routine.
Yeah, that going back to the place, those places, or watching these old movies or listening to old songs remind us of who we were and how life was, and it isn't anymore somehow. Like, so I understand that feeling, like of sadness and happiness, of how can I say strangeness? Is it a word?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
making it up.
Yeah, no, that's a word. Strangeness. Like it's a strange feeling or a weird feeling. It's almost it's difficult to explain, but I think explaining it with the feelings of nostalgia, I
Yeah.
think you really hit the nail on the head with that one.
Hmm. Hit the nail in the head.
Hit the nail on the head with that one. Like
Thank
you
you.
really got it
Yeah.
down perfectly. You got the point perfectly.
Yes, yes. Yeah, so yeah, I wanted to ask you if you like so for example in the movie, this movie, it is a road trip, and I just love road trips, movies and books. And there is another book and also a movie called On the Road. It is a book by Jack Kerouac. It was
Hmm.
written, have you heard of it?
I've heard of the author because
Yeah.
he's well known, but I don't know the book.
Yeah, no, yeah. So he wrote this book because it seems to me, I'm not sure if it is normal anymore, common, I don't know, but there was a time in the US where people would go from New York to Denver. So they would cross from north to east. What is it?
From east to
East.
west.
Yes, 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 yes. Sorry.
Perfect.
East to west. So they would travel like for days in cars, and they would meet people on the road, and they would have like these amazing experiences. Some people were artists. They would write about it. They would send letters to their friends. So it was like a time, the generation beatnik something. Yes,
Generation.
generation beatnik.
Beatnik generation.
Beatnik generation, sorry, Beatnik generation. So I was in love with that book because, I mean, you have been on the road, right, for so many years. And for me, the experiences that people find when they are traveling, when they are sort of homeless, when they're not sure where they're going to go next, what is going to happen next, it is for me such an excite, excitant
Exciting.
exciting,
Exciting.
yeah, 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 such an exciting feeling that I well that I've I would say that I have never got to experience properly, but I would love to. So I would like to ask you if, because I know a little bit of your story, I know that you used to work in a company, a 9 to 5 job. So the time that you've been on the road has brought you more self awareness, self knowledge. What self? What is was the word that you used?
Self-discovery.
Self discovery. Thank you. Have you discovered more about yourself just by being traveling with your husband for the past years than you have ever like discovered
Yeah.
back then?
I mean, I definitely think that, like, of course, I've grown as a person. Um, I've learned a lot, but I've also learned about like what I want and what I don't want out of life, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like to have a little more freedom, to enjoy living in the moment a little bit more, to try to stress out about money a little bit less, that kind of thing. Of course, it's still a struggle to not stress about these things, but it kind of teaches you to stress a little bit less, maybe, if that makes sense.
Yeah. 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 Amazing, Chris. I remember that you told me once, I'm not sure if you still apply that to your life, but when you told me that I actually applied to my life, I remember you saying once a year maybe ago that you would work for a certain amount of salary or money and then you would stop, you would close your availability. Do you still do that? And then I sat like for me when you told me that I was like, okay, so how much do I need? How much do would I be comfortable making? And then I would not close my availability, but I would work
Juice.
less, reduce. Yes. Do you still do that? It was such a
I,
great advice. I guess I
I,
never told you
I do.
that. Yeah.
Oh, that's good though, because like, I mean, if you when I think about it, like, okay, well, would I like to have an extra 60 or 70 or even $100 this month? Sure. But is that extra 50, 70, $100 going to make me as happy as having a day off of work or 4 hours off of work? No, honestly.
No. Yeah, yeah. But why do you think people they do think that they need it? Because I have this friend and he would say that he could not work, but he thinks that okay, so if I'm staying at home, I mean, I do not, I mean, it won't kill me to work. He doesn't need it, but he will still do out of habit, maybe. So why do you think people think that they need to how can I say, collect or save money and
To save money, to
save?
uh, you wouldn't say collect money, but to just earn more money, save more money, hoard money, maybe.
Yeah, hoard.
Hoard has more of a negative connotation, though.
Yeah.
But why do people feel the need to just stack the cash?
Yeah, because as you said, I don't think people they realize
How valuable
how
time is.
valuable time is. Like you said, a day off. They don't have the dimension. I haven't. I didn't have. I haven't had.
I haven't had before.
I haven't had before having that conversation with you. So I wouldn't appreciate what it's like not to have responsibilities because even maybe I don't know, maybe even 1 or 2 hours of work, it won't kill me. It won't kill me to work 2 hours in the weekend. But still it's a lot of, I think we do not have the dimension of the thinking, of the preparation, the thought, the
Of
worrying that
course.
we put into those 2 hours.
Of course.
I don't
I
know.
agree. I agree 100% with what you're saying. I think it's also cultural too. I mean, at least I'm not as familiar with how the dynamic is in Brazil, but in the United States, there's a lot of social pressure to work, 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 be successful, have money, be independent, have tons in savings, have investments, be at a place like people expect like 30-year-olds to already own a car, a house, have years worth of savings, have a or retirement account, all of those things, right? It's a lot of stress and pressure. And so I feel like people never feel like they're comfortable enough
Yeah.
to just relax, because
Yeah.
also other people will look down on them and have their own opinions, like, oh, they're lazy, they don't work.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. And also maybe because sometimes even now I do not know what to do. Like literally like with my body. So where will I put my body when no, I mean I it's funny to say that, but what will I do? Like if what how can we have fun? Like that's what I mean. Like where will I go? I think people they don't know.
Most people.
Most people, well, they don't know how to enjoy themselves. Like, what do I like? Who am I apart from work? Apart from this, like being a
Right.
teacher or a lawyer? What do I think that traveling gives you this perspective? Like, what do
Oh
you
yeah.
enjoy doing? Like, because if I do not work, I will be like, okay, so what could I do? Because there's a lot of thousands of possibilities. I could read a book, watch a movie, I could go for a walk, but what are my hobbies really?
Right. I think that comes down to having a good understanding of the importance of a work-life balance. And I think that you and I have a very good understanding of that, because we, at least I think, that we have begun to prioritize
Yeah,
what's good for us, what's good for our mental health, what makes us happy, versus prioritizing work, 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 stacking money, right?
yeah, stacking money, stacking money.
Like, what's the point of having tons of money if you never enjoy having the money to go and do what you love,
Exactly,
right? Like, you're just going to work to have money in your account, but then you're never going to go and do what makes you happy.
exactly. Like in the past 2 or 3 months, yeah, in July, I had an experience, and then last week, so two experiences in less than 3 months where I have the first experience, I have my money in a bank that sort of had connections with another that went bankrupt in Europe. And then I thought I lost all my money. But then I had it back. But the first thought that came to mind was like, why? Of course, I was saving to travel and to do things after quarantine, the pandemic is over. But then I thought, wow, I really wanted to do other things like to invest in a course that I was like waiting because I thought that $300 was too much. But then I thought, wow, that spiritual course that I could have bought, but now I lost that money. And then what was I saving it for? But then I recovered. But then last week again, someone used my prepaid credit card and I thought I lost all the money again. And I'm from Minas Gerais. In Minas Gerais, we keep money under our mattress. Why am I keeping my money in an international bank? I don't know if you heard that here in Minas we do not trust banks. And
I
then
haven't
why?
heard that.
Yeah, no, in Minas, people in Minas, we don't trust banks. We trust. Maybe I shouldn't say that publicly because now people could come to my house and rob. I don't have much money though, a lot of money though. But we do not keep all that we have in banks
Hmm.
because we have had experiences in the past where banks they went bankrupt or our presidents they collect a president
Yeah,
that we had.
right. It's
He
not a super super stable economic situation.
Yeah,
It can change quickly.
yeah, yeah. So then I was thinking last week, I was like, okay, so I wish I have had more lessons on Italki with the money, but but now I don't have that money anymore because someone stole it from my account. So what I mean is that things they are not permanent. We think that we
Right.
have them, money, health, and we are the pandemic. If pandemic taught me something was that life happens now, like you said, like by traveling, you learn that it is important to live in the moment, not inconsequently, how can I say this? Inconsequent, un- without thinking that, I mean, there won't be consequences for your action, like
Right.
reckless.
Not in a reckless way,
Yeah,
but also like of course like you need to think about your actions, the consequences of your actions, but at the same time, like as long as you're a good person and you're doing good things and you have good intentions, I think that's something you need to worry about less, right?
yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. So we have 1 minute to finish our session. It passed like so quickly. Thank you. I wanted to ask you one last question. What was your favorite thing about the movie?
You know, I mean, there were a lot of things I loved, but the one scene that just really like I flash back to is the scene where they were in, I want to say it was a church.
Yeah,
There was a festival going, not like a festival, but like a religious ceremony or like a
precision.
pilgrimage.
You would say precision.
Procession.
Procession.
Yes, a procession. And Dora got like stuck or like kind of in the shuffle of people and she passed out. And it was just a really well choreographed, well, like the cinematography of that scene was very impressive. And then once I can't remember if she woke up on her own or if the boy found her and helped her, but it was like that was a moment where I think she really started to realize, oh, I need him as much as he needs me.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it was when she completely, maybe completely, because I think she was in the process of opening her heart to him.
Mhm.
But I think that moment was when she had that realization, like, yeah, I need him. He's helping me too. We are helping each other, right?
Yeah. There's, what is the word for it? Like, it was like an epiphany for her.
Yeah,
Or there's like a word that Oprah uses. You know who Oprah is?
I know, I know. Yeah,
She says the aha moment.
the aha moment.
That was
Uh-huh.
her aha moment.
Yeah, amazing, amazing, Chris. Yes, thank
What
you.
what was your favorite scene or your favorite part?
Oh, for me, it was when she decided to she invited him to live with her when she thought that he didn't have a family. But then they found out that actually he had two brothers. So she decided to leave him there.
Oh yeah.
And then in the bus, and then she put that blue dress that he bought, that he thought it was very beautiful. So she got into a bus and she write him a letter, and she says that she's sending him a picture of her so she won't be forgotten, that she wanted him to remember her. And then she says by the end, at the end of the letter, that she misses everything. And for me it is a very emotional letter. For me it is such a beautiful, I mean, I do love the whole movie. I think it is a beautiful movie. It
It
taught me
is.
so many things. Yes, yes.
It's a really good
Oh,
movie.
Chris, thank you so much for discussing this movie with me. It meant a lot to me. You are for me a friend. You are a person that I really admire. And thank you so much
And
for
you
like
too.
everything that you have taught me over these years.
And you
And
too. Thank you
oh,
for choosing me to be a
oh
part of
no,
your awesome
oh,
project.
thank you for accepting it. It meant a lot when you said yes. So, beijos,
Beijos.
and talk
Have
to you
a
soon.
great day. I'll see you later.
Bye, Chris. Bye bye.
Bye.